A new episode of or latest. I don't. Where am I going? I've already lost track.
Oh,
This sucks.
jeez.
All right, let me
I'm
start over, guys.
up.
Jesus. Welcome to another episode of Hoosier Nerds podcast with your hosts Mikey, Tim, and the two Chris's. We actually have Tim this week. It's been like what 2-3 weeks since you were able to make it.
I'm here.
It's been 2 weeks, I think.
I still don't believe it, but I'm happy he's here. He adds something sometimes.
Uh,
An air of craziness.
There we go.
Just what we needed.
So, like I said last week, we're going to be talking. No one left any, comments or anything for us to discuss on comment sections or anything. So, if they did, I didn't see it till yet. But let's start off with Mandalorian, Chapter 10, Episode 2, whatever we want to call it now. And I'm just going to start off with I hate spiders.
Look, I don't mind spiders. If they're in the house, I'll kill them. If they're outside, I'll leave them alone. They don't really scare me. But these bugs that they had, they were freaky, and there was a lot of them, and I did not like it.
The entire time I was watching that part of the episode, I felt like there was bugs crawling on my skin.
Oh, I'm all set with these kind of bugs. Oh shit.
Did you just look it up, Tim?
Oh my god.
I was like, it's a thing in nightmares. It's like, burn it all.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm good. That's like Shelob shit right there.
So, what'd you guys think of the episode overall? Like, good, indifferent, filler?
Yeah, it was a filler.
It was definitely
Yeah.
a filler episode.
It added nothing to the story or to the overall plot, I guess. But
I mean, I guess you learn a little bit more that, like, the New Republic's moving into the,
that
staking
was
their
kind of
claim
cool.
everywhere.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But and that stupid little kid don't listen when he tells him not to eat the eggs.
The kid is a monster. Let's be honest.
he's just a kid. He doesn't know any better. He's
50 years old.
He's just hungry.
Well, you'd think the 6 or 7 eggs or however many he ate would have been enough. And then, an entire spider.
Right?
But let's not forget the opening scene where he got caught at the speeder bike and it got destroyed, and then he wiped out those robbers. I guess
that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
As soon as he set down that his jetpack, I was like, all right, well, that thing.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's toast. That was pretty funny.
To make matters worse, those spiders, the Krykna, are resistant to blaster bolts and fire, as if they're not scary enough.
If they're resistant to blaster bolts, why were they being shot then?
Yeah, they were being shot, and then he was using fire on them.
You could be water resistant and still have your phone waterlogged. Not waterproof.
Cool thing about those spiders, they were on in the Rebels, sort of. They're not the exact same like breed, but like they're the same design and everything from a planet in Rebels is on.
So this is pretty cool.
They're scary, but it's just like I don't know how spiders like that would actually work. With their entire body mass above them like that.
Like, I was more afraid of these spiders than, because it kind of reminded me of, the spiders in Harry Potter when they went into the forest.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, a little bit. Yeah, but, yeah. I was like, I'm afraid of these spiders more than the ones in Harry Potter. I was like, Harry Potter, it didn't scare me that much. But
Not
it's like,
now, Ron.
Yeah.
Can we worry now? They're hanging from the, coming down from the. Oh my god!
I'll have to take your word for it on the Harry Potter side.
I honestly got vibes from Eight-Legged Freaks. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah, but I never saw it.
It's hilarious.
I was more it was more like early Raiders of the Lost Ark, when he goes into the cave and he tells that guy to turn around, and he's got those spiders all over his back. That's the creep factor right there. That could legit happen. So I was having flashbacks of Raiders Lost Ark.
When they were like retreating back into the Razor Crest and back into the cockpit, and the baby had the spider on his head, I was just like, okay, it's gonna bite him, and then he's gonna have to like rush to the next system and get like an antidote or something. I was about to like cry or something.
You know what I love about the episodes is I was always fascinated by these as a kid was the way they do like the paintings of the episode as you run through the credits.
Oh, like the concept art of how they want
Oh,
to.
Yes, I love those.
Yeah,
those are amazing because I early on I remember having a trading card set for Empire Strikes Back, and they had those concept art on as the cards, and they were so cool. So I'm glad that they stick to. Again, it goes back to the original idea of the movie. They keep it in. But my question is, how does that guy sleep with all that armor on and that cape, and he crawls in that little bitty hole with them big ass boots on?
this is the way.
Yeah, it's the way. It's the way. It's.
I mean, I can't sleep with socks on, much less pajamas without them getting all twisted up. So
One of the best feelings in the world is going to bed with your socks on, then taking them off. I don't know what it is, like the temperature difference. It just feels awesome.
The first one's always hard to get off.
I'm like, doesn't he get tangled up in that cape? How does he sleep in that thing? Plus that big ass helmet.
Like a blanket.
I mean, it's his ship. He can take his helmet off. He's not in public.
So, I think next episode we're gonna see Sabine from the Rebels, and we might see Ahsoka from
Scum. I love Ahsoka.
Ahsoka's the best character in Clone Wars.
And another thing I've been waiting on to see is like I feel like these last two episodes there were moments where it could have happened was the child could have used a force at some point, and like you haven't seen that yet this season.
He kind of did when he first put his hand on the jar with all the eggs. That he kind of pulled him toward himself.
Oh, I guess so.
That's just so he could grab him.
Yeah.
He was hunting. He was just hunting. I'm excited for the next episode, but I hope this is the only like filler episode. This episode was fun, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, it doesn't do anything.
And it was
probably going to lead to something. Yeah.
It was obviously filler. The episode was only 40 minutes long. I mean, usually they're 50 to 55. So
yeah,
I noticed it was a short episode. I watched it yesterday.
I guess it's a 2-part because he hasn't really completed his mission yet. But it feels like there's something going to happen this next season this next episode that will lead to the.
So what do you think? He'll just like drop her off, get his ship fixed, and then proceed to the storyline.
He'll probably meet someone. Right?
Yeah,
he's supposed to meet the Mandalorian or something.
Yeah, that planet's where he's supposed to meet that the Mandalorian group.
Fucker. Right. Sorry, the cat.
Yeah.
Ari is just trying to find a way to kill you.
Yeah.
All right, so Mikey, you wanted to talk a little bit more on the prequels because you said you went back and watched them. So
you watched the episode 1 and 2 or the first 2 Star Wars movies?
I watched 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, episode 2 and 3.
The prequels.
The prequels. Okay.
Yeah, it's just because watching Mando, it just made me like want to watch more Star Wars. So that was the way I did it. I'll probably eventually watch 4, 5, and 6, and we'll talk about that next week maybe. But so I just kind of wrote down a few like maybe facts or theories I caught that I really never paid attention to before when I watched them because it's been a while since I really sat down and watched it. So let's start with Jar Jar. Nobody.
Oh my God! Why?
All right.
Why would you do that?
No, listen. I think he's a good character. I don't mind him. But it's the language that I think really makes people mad.
No, that's not it at all.
No, I truly think it's just the language.
No,
his character's all right.
It's not the language. No.
Yeah, it's the way they talk. It's their dialect. It's fucking annoying
It's like
as hell.
it's like they
The
put
gun
Roger
use.
Rabbit in the movie. It's exactly what they did.
Now,
Just
I kind of see what you're saying, Mikey. It's mostly what annoyed me, I guess, with him. It was his language, but some of just the goofy stuff they had him do got on my nerves. Like when I was younger, I thought it was funny. Like when he's on Tatooine and tries to like eat that cooked frog or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That
when
was
he
that
sticks
was-
his head in the
yeah.
puddle jumper. No.
This isn't Stargate.
No.
I
Okay.
know what you're talking about. He stuck his head in something and got it
In
stuck.
in the pod racer lightning.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
tongue is stuck out.
Yeah.
He was the comedic relief, and for the little kids, it worked.
Yeah, I'm sure those kids now they're like, this guy's trash.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I mean everybody grew up, and yeah, that is
He
exactly
still
what
has
it's
some
happened.
funny moments. I still have some stuff I say from him.
All right, go ahead.
Not much,
So,
but
say something.
I can't remember exactly what I got from him. But you're putting me
Okay.
on the spot, and I can't do
Yeah.
it. I'm sorry. I failed again. This is a rough one for me, guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Another thing they kind of mentioned, I think Qui-Gon, or maybe I forget who mentioned it, but they mentioned that Obi-Wan has defiance, like he's always questioning stuff, and then Qui-Gon, he also had defiance, and that's why he never got on the council. And then it went all the way to Anakin, because now in Episode 3 he questioned everything. So I just thought that was kind of neat. Like it kind of like passed down. Like nobody, that whole group,
Why?
that trio, they just don't like to follow rules.
Fuck the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, can I
Let's
add
see.
something to that really quick, Mike?
Yeah.
There is it's like in the expanded universe books. I don't know if they're true anymore. I'm pretty sure it's expanded universe books, or it's in the like the novelization of Episode 1. I can't remember. I never really read them. I just watched YouTube videos of people that said stuff. So, Qui-Gon, if I remember right, always thought that the Jedi Council was getting a little too powerful, and they were trying to do too much stuff, and they should like pull themselves back and just focus on like the Force and the Jedi and what the Jedi need, not hey, we got to go enforce peace on this planet.
I could see that. You could kind of see that in Episode 1, the way he talks and stuff.
Yeah, and the reason Obi-Wan was kind of defiant was because he almost never didn't become a Jedi. It was because of Qui-Gon he did. Because Obi-Wan didn't have like the natural Force ability. He had the Force, but he didn't have like the natural. He wasn't strong in the Force. He was like a better swordsman, and that's why
he
he
had a baby midi-chlorian count.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why he is such like a by the book Jedi, because that's what he fell back on when he couldn't really use the Force. He fell back on his studies and his mastery of his sword style.
Well, yeah, and it took him, and now you find out like it took him till he was old age to really like get in contact with the Force or whatnot, just really learn it.
One of the things that I noticed after the fact. Okay, so Watto, right? The character Watto. Wait, which one's what? Wait, who's the guy that owns? Yeah, it's Watto, right? Don't Watto own Anakin in Episode?
I think so.
Okay, so he is a ripoff from a character from The Godfather Part 2. Yes, because in The Godfather Part 2, so it's Godfather Part 2 breaks up between what happens after the Godfather movie, and it's kind of a prequel that tells you how Don Corleone got to where he came into power. So when he came to America and lived in New York, the neighborhood was ran by this guy named Finucci, and he had that gravelly kind of voice. But he was Italian.
Now that I think about it, doesn't he have an Italian accent? Just
Yes,
kind of.
that's what I
He
said.
does.
Watto is the same way. It's a ripoff of
Wow.
He just has an alien Italian accent. I just thought of
Watto is a ripoff of the character Finucci from The Godfather Part 2. Now
He's
y'all
like,
gotta go watch
you
Godfather.
want a little boy, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's like. I was like, I remember watching The Godfather Part 2 again because I hadn't seen it in years. And I watched it and I was like, I've heard this before. I've heard this voice before. And this was after I've seen episode 1. And that was the voice I saw. I was like, oh my God, Watto is Finucci.
I've never seen that.
This is legit. So now y'all got to watch Godfather Part 2 to look for Finucci. Because exactly what he's talking about.
He's a.
He is Italian. Yes, he is like an Italian alien.
It is not worth a slave.
Get the meat sauce.
Yeah.
So the question that's my question is Watto Finucci? That's what I want to know. That's a big question to ponder. We'll put
he
that
might
in the
be an
description of the
ancestor,
podcast.
a galaxy far, far away, long time ago, whatever it says.
No, yeah. But Finucci runs the Finucci runs. He's the boss of the neighborhood that De Niro plays the young Corleone. So
And Watto's the boss of he was a powerful trader.
exactly. So I think it's like a direct, maybe it's tribute. I don't know, but
That's cool.
I'm not going to be able to unsee that now. I thank you.
It has bothered me for years. I'm so glad to have this discussion. I was able to say that out loud. Yes, Watto and Finucci are the same thing.
Okay, so that
So go. What? Please go on, Mike. That's episode.
Yeah, that's episode 1. Now, for episode 2, I kind of thought of this theory. I'm sure it might have been said before, but I've never heard of it. Is Padme the villain? Listen. Okay, she corrupted Anakin. Like I took the analogy of like her like in a high school girl showing shoulders and uh distracting men. So like that's what her role was with Anakin.
So she's
Get
a
it?
whore.
She's a cute
Yeah.
cheerleader, and he's the nerd, and she's making his grades tank.
Yeah. So like he's always distracted by her and not focusing on the Jedi rules and protocols and whatnot. And in the end, he goes to the dark side because of her. So that's my
I mean,
theory.
she
He's the
didn't make
villain.
him kill all those sand.
Or the younglings.
Well, she kind of led him to killing the younglings, though.
I mean,
Because-
women drive us all to kill everybody, but
Right. I don't know. I could see that. That'd be like she's an unintentional villain.
she was part of it.
Thanks, Padme. You caused Darth Vader.
Now, I think you guys talked about. I think I've heard something about this before, like and why I don't know exactly why it was in the movie, but when Yoda was meditating, when Anakin started killing all the Tuskens, you kind of hear Qui-Gon's voice saying "Anakin, no" or whatnot.
Hmm.
Do you guys have any knowledge of that?
That would have probably been his Force ghost, because he never fully mastered the ability. That's why he couldn't project himself like Yoda or Luke in the latest ones,
Okay.
or Obi-Wan. He could like manifest his voice. It's in an outtake for episode 3, but when they're all like on that asteroid and Padme's giving birth and Yoda's meditating, he's supposed to be talking to Qui-Gon there
Okay.
at the end of episode 3, but they cut it out. But it is in the novelization version.
That's what I thought. I thought that was really interesting. And then Okay, that's for episode 2. That's all I got. Episode 3, big one. I found out that Anakin is a simp all along.
Simpler.
Yeah. So, just like in episode 2, Padme, he's all focused on Padme, does anything for Padme, will do anything for Padme. That is basically the definition of a simp. So, he's simp.
I mean, she had all of the second movie to corrupt him.
I know they went to Naboo and
they go on that picnic and
The bangs.
Yeah. Well, like it was weird because I think I caught that they kind of Anakin was like, I don't think we should just stay friends basically, and then Padme showed her shoulder and was just like, nah,
what
I
a
think
tramp.
yeah, I think she's like, yeah, let's be more than friends, and then yeah.
I mean, is it really Padme that's the slut though? If all she has to do is show Anakin a little bit of shoulder and he forgets all of his
Oh,
Jedi
come on, Tim.
training?
Don't you like a little shoulder and a little ankle?
yeah. Come on.
Yeah, those ankles, bro.
like
Show
like
me them
16
cankles.
Like
Come on,
16
channel your inner Amish, guys. Channel your inner...
I just love them cankles.
Oh God.
And then in episode 3, I don't think Star Wars did a good job like explaining. I don't know whether they need to or not. I don't think they really need to, but I felt like it'd make a better story if they kind of explain the role or the powers of the Senate, the Chancellor, and the Jedi Council, because you really never get that relationship of like what they actually do and
I mean,
why
I would
like
believe the
war.
Senate's a Senate. I feel like I
They-
don't need
they
too
just-
much explanation.
They
The
just
way-
argue. They just argue over power. That's all they do. It's just
Yeah.
a
The way
They
I've
all
always
represent the corrupt government.
this is
Right.
all in like my head, so but I've always kind of saw the Galactic Senate as kind of like the UN because all the planets have their own like militaries and like territories still. It's just they all agree to be part of the Senate, who makes trade deals and complains about when one planet gets a little too powerful for their boots.
Like an empire without the empire.
Yeah,
Federation, if you will.
yeah, kind of like the Federation, but the Federation without Starfleet.
And it all comes back to the better of the two.
And like the Chancellor, I've always felt is kind of like the president. President has a lot of power, but he can't really do much without the Senate or the Congress. And the Jedi are kind of like the police. At least that's the role they took, and they shouldn't. They should just be, monks levitating stuff. They shouldn't be, going to Tatooine to settle disputes.
Yeah.
That should be the Republic, military. But the Republic didn't have a military until episode 2 because
Then
they're a
the
bunch of dum-dums.
clones.
Yeah, how do they expect to fight the droids without like an army?
They thought the Jedi would keep the peace.
Oh,
There's a whole series. There's a book series talking about the demilitarization of the Republic. I never read it, so there's way too many books, and none of them really matter anymore because Disney bought it and said they don't matter anymore. So half the shit I talk about in Star Wars isn't actually anymore.
Where's this? I saw this on. I think I saw it on Instagram. Where's it at? It's some bogus. Oh, here it is. There's a non-canon Star Wars comic where Han and Chewbacca crash into Earth after using hyperspace blindly. Native Americans kill Han, and his body is discovered by Indiana Jones 126 years later while searching for Sasquatch, which turns out to be Chewbacca. I don't want to make this story up, but boy, that's a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if I can survive after that.
So Indiana Jones discovers the body of Han Solo 126 years later, after the American Indians killed Han Solo, while he's searching for the Sasquatch, who is actually Chewbacca. So there you go. So Chewbacca is the Sasquatch. So that's what we're seeing everywhere. It's just Chewbacca. I can buy
And
that.
what about his son
Yeah.
Lumpy?
Lumpy's out there too somewhere. It's his whole family. I mean,
I didn't know Chewbacca had a son.
Yeah,
he did Lumpy in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
the Star Wars
Oh.
Holiday Special's canon.
Okay, yeah. So
I never did watch that.
Well, we'll watch it. So I've got give me a month, and I'll have everybody over, and we'll watch it.
Okay.
Except for Tim, unless Tim,
Except for
hops
Tim,
on a plane.
unless he wants to Skype watch it.
Yeah, Skype watch it.
I'd put some money down for a plane ticket.
Not me.
For the Star Wars Holiday Special. That's not. Yeah.
Okay, Comic-Con. That's where I'll put my money down for Tim.
Yeah.
Just
Why are you flying to Indiana? Well, you see, I gotta watch the Star Wars Christmas special. Go, go, go!
this is important stuff here.
Upgrade this man to first class.
Give him the pilot seat. All of a sudden, a
What, you wanna
747
never get
flies
there?
into my house.
We might have to watch the riff track.
I know I'm a little late.
I have one more thing for episode 3, and that would be the classic line from The Room. I'm just waiting for Anakin to say this. Was like, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." But like, Padme. Was like, but like towards Padme, like, "You're tearing me apart, Padme." Yeah.
All right, I
That was great.
I gotta get good at Photoshop, so I can Photoshop Anakin's face onto
Tommy Wiseau
Tommy.
Yeah.
or John.
I bet it's already been done. Let me Google this real quick.
Or do it the other way around, and in the meme with Anakin screaming when he's like on fire.
Yeah.
You could just put the caption, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa."
Oh, high ground.
Women will never know the pain of not having the high ground.
Yeah, that was always fun trying to. I was going through all 3 episodes, of course, and just spotting the memes. It's like, oh, there's one.
Yes.
There's one.
That was fun. Hey, I know that meme.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Well,
found a new meme.
When is it in Jedi or is it in Jedi where no, it's Empire where Vader tells Luke, Obi-Wan has taught you well because Luke's high. And he's high. He's on that on that platform, and there's those steps, and Vader's down below, and he says Obi-Wan has taught you well because we didn't know what that meant at the time, but
yeah,
that's pretty good that that he had the high ground. So
See.
Crap, making fun of my boy Tommy. Hey, it was actually a year ago today that I met Tommy Wiseau. So
yeah, and then
it came up in my Facebook memories.
we had a pretty good discussion after that about it too.
He's a pretty awesome guy. Here we go. So
you should put some of those on Twitter and Facebook. Get pictures with him.
My picture with Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I really just want to talk to that guy. He seems
dude,
like a dude.
He was so cool. Yeah, let's see, here we go. There I am.
All right.
Bam,
Anything else, Mikey?
Isn't that a beautiful
no,
thing?
that's the last thing I caught.
All right. I want to do one more thing in honor of the great Sean Connery. We were talking about his best movies last week, so I kind of want to say there was an article on Cinema Blend about 20 Sean Connery movies and where you can watch them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to kind of go through some of them.
Sure.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade you can watch on Netflix right now. Honestly, I think The Last Crusade is the best Indiana Jones movie. And it might be because of Sean Connery's performance in that.
Well, that's true.
A Bridge Too Far is also on Netflix, and if you're looking for a great movie, that's probably his best one of his best ones. Have any of you guys seen A Bridge Too Far?
I saw it like when I was a kid.
Okay,
So I haven't seen it since.
but it's on Netflix if you want to watch it again.
Well, I'll have to. I mean, I can see it anyway. I need to see it. You know?
True. All of Sean Connery's James Bond movies are on Hulu right now. I would suggest Thunderball. Thunderball's actually really good. I like Thunderball.
I always liked From Russia with Love. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah, they're all good. I think there's only one bad Sean Connery James Bond movie, and it's really not even that bad. It's kind of just like the worst.
Which one?
I can't remember. I think it's the one where he goes into. No, that's not him. Never mind.
George Lazenby is the worst Bond movie.
Which one?
I think it's In Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Wasn't that the first one?
No.
There was a James Bond before Sean Connery that was legit just one movie, and it was Casino Royale.
Yeah, that's Casino. But isn't that the one with Inspector Clouseau?
Yeah, it's really not even a James Bond movie.
Yeah, George Lazenby plays 007 in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Came out in '69. He played Bond for one movie, and they say
Which
it's
one
not.
was that? Like, where did that one go?
Huh?
Which one was that? I don't remember.
It was before Bond's. It was before. Well, this came out in '69, and then
Nice.
Connery played one in '70. So, hang on, I'll tell you where they came in between. Let's see here.
I just don't remember that in Her Majesty's
That's
Secret Service.
that's how memorable. That's how
Okay.
memorable that movie is.
Then we don't need to talk about it anymore.
Here we go. Bond films in order.
The Rock is on Hulu. The Rock is probably who directed that movie?
Was it a Michael Bay movie?
Yeah, that's probably Michael Bay's best movie.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which has George Lazenby as James Bond, came out between You Only Live Twice and Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
And Diamonds Are Forever came out in '71. That was Connery's last Bond movie till '83. And then Live and Let Die was Roger Moore. Came out in '73. So there you go.
If you're looking for a good comedy or a good family movie, Darby O'Gill and the Little People is on Disney Plus.
Really?
I've seen that once. He looks really young in the picture. It's an old movie. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is on Amazon Prime. That's one of his last movies. I think it was like his second to last or third to last movie. He plays Alan Quartermain.
What about The Presidio?
I don't know if you can watch it. The Untouchables is on Stars. Hunt for the Red October is on Showtime. Just one team.
I like The Untouchables. I think it's a great film, and Sean Connery does deserve his Oscar for that movie. Except since I'm a history nerd, there's so many things wrong with that film at the same time that bother.
There is, but it's a good movie.
It is a good movie, but you can't watch it. I watch that stuff as okay, so it's based on a true story, so it's going to tell me the story of what happened. No, it doesn't work that way. Hollywood don't want to do that, you know.
The First Night is on Stars. Outland is on Stars. These are getting like who has Stars? Let's be honest. Rising Sun is on Stars. Time Bandits is on HBO. Time Bandits is really good.
Did you finally watch? Have you ever seen it or did you watch it recently?
I watched it because of his death, and you talked it up. So
it's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good movie.
Honestly, I don't think anyone actually has Vudu. Do people have Vudu or Cinemax?
I use Vudu, but
okay. On Vudu is Highlander.
But it's like you can only rent, and so there's some free movies, but you can only like rent and buy movies. So it's just like anything else.
I thought Mikey was going to movies. You can only have one Highlander.
What?
I don't know.
Highlander? There can only be one Highlander?
I know.
Oh.
All right. A new Mass Effect game is in the works, and apparently it's going to take place back in the Milky Way with Shepard.
Boo.
A new what?
Mass Effect game. Mass Effect 1, 2, 3 were really good. Andromeda was poopy.
Fine. You didn't even beat it, so you have no right to talk about it.
I got like halfway through the game, and I lost interest in that game like a quarter of the way through.
Why? Explain to me. Give me
The
reasons.
story was slow. The voice acting was horrible, and the voice acting, I never gotten put off by bad voice acting until that game.
I guess if you want to say the voice acting, that's not a gameplay issue.
Yeah, but when you got to sit there and listen to the voices for a story-driven game, and the voice acting is bad for a AAA title with 3 other games under their belts that were amazing, how do you mess up the voice acting?
I think it was even the story was. I think the story itself was fantastic. Going to the Andromeda Galaxy to get out of the Milky Way, so I have to deal with all this shit, and they get to their paradise galaxy. Sure enough, by the time they get there, too much time has passed, and some shit went down. The galaxy's all sorts of messed up. I think it was a pretty fantastic storyline. I wish that they continued along with it and just made a second game. They could just make a better second game, fix all their problems from the first game.
The first one got such bad reviews and sold so bad.
Which I don't know how it still has a 75, 7.5, 7.7, and an 8. So I mean, those aren't like the most terrible scores from.
No, but for a game that is used to 9s and 10s,
it
7s and 8s.
says that most of the issues were they got such low scores because of the gameplay glitches and stuff like that that were like throughout the game, but they fixed most of them with patches.
Yeah,
So
but when you gotta wait for
part
patches
of
to have a
Patches,
single player
patches
game,
of Houlihan saved the day.
but if that was part of the reason why it has a
Or-
bad rating, then that rating is fixed because they fixed the actual game.
is it crossplay? Because I would download it and play it on my PC right now. At Andromeda.
The PC, you tell me if it's crossplay.
I'm looking it up right now.
So are there any of the stories linked? So, or should you play like 1, 2, and 3, or can you play like 3 independent of 2 and 1? Or
You can
Andromeda's in the middle, so that one's not really. You don't have to play that one to get anything of the story.
you don't have to play 1 and 2 to play 3, but it's suggested. Honestly, I would say skip 1. Unless they remaster 1. 1 is really hard to play anymore.
But you don't want to drive the Mako around.
I mean, it's fun. 1 is fun, but I would say skip it. It's not any good.
No, as with most series, I feel like they just get better as time. Like as much as people want to say 2 is the best game, you could say that 2 has the best like storyline. I will agree. I can agree with you there, but I feel like gameplay wise, they just took stuff from the first game and made it better in the second game, and they took all of the good stuff from the first and the second game and then made it into the third game.
I thought the third game was the best, honestly. I liked the story, and I didn't have a problem with the ending, like a lot of people.
I didn't beat it until after they quote unquote fixed everything. So
I thought the fix made it worse.
So I don't really even know the difference between them. I just know my original ending, which I thought was fine.
The original endings were supposed to just end it.
I kind of left
it. Hey, we want to go work on other stuff, so let's end the games so we don't have to, play them anymore or make them anymore.
I feel like they wanted to get into Dragon Age more.
And then the Dragon Age hasn't even had a game lately since Inquisition.
Fine.
But I will admit, for Andromeda, the gameplay was probably the best. Like the combat in Andromeda was really good.
Like fighting the giant mechanical serpents in the sky. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was, and the co-op was really fun. The like the the wave thing.
Oh yeah. It was
I
the
wish,
same as Mass Effect 3's multiplayer, right?
yeah, it had a little. It was
Which
a little better though, but it was
was
still fun.
fantastic multiplayer. I love the Mass Effect multiplayer.
It's not PvP. It's just co-op and let's survive.
Yeah.
As long as
I
we
mean,
can.
it's PvP in the sense that you want to do better than your friends.
Yeah, but that's not really. But it's not PvP. That's the only sense of PvP it has. It's just
Yeah.
competition and better scores. But no, they haven't really said much about what the new Mass Effect game is going to be about, other than that it's probably going to continue the Shepard storyline somehow. Which I don't know how they could, because he kind of died, didn't he? Depending on your ending.
I mean, depending on
Whoops.
ending, all of the whole galaxy's effed up. What do you mean?
I don't know. It's been a while since I played 3. That's my bad.
In one of them, you stop all the relays.
Yeah, that's the
from
one.
working.
That's the one I got.
So, I mean, ain't shit happening in the galaxy when everybody's spread across the galaxy.
Well, time to make a new faster than light travel system.
How when everybody's your most intelligent scientists are no contact, thousands of light years away from each other.
You just need one guy, like in Star Wars, to be or Star Trek, to be smart and make the warp drive.
I can't find anything saying that it's going to be back on Earth following.
I could have sworn I saw it.
I see a lot of pictures of Shepard, but that's kind of just their placeholder picture.
Yeah, maybe I was just reading into the picture. My bad.
Legendary.
Don't you know
My bad.
not to read the book by its cover? Gosh.
Really?
Listen, I always judge a book by its cover. If you can't imagine some sort of creative cover, then I don't think you're a very good writer. So I'm not going to read your book anyways.
He does have a point, because I just picked up a book and I started reading a book called Five Families. It's about the 5 families of the mafia in New York, and on the cover are the legs and feet of somebody that got whacked.
Like, I'm in.
Paul
I'm in.
Paul Castellano. He was the
I'm in.
godfather for the Gambino crime family.
You got me.
And guy's laying on the ground. I'm like, that's the book I want. It's obviously got violence in it. I mean, that's a definite pickup. That's right.
I'd like that book back there, sir. That book's haunted. Yeah, but it's got legs on it, so
It's
I
got
want
a
it.
dead guy.
As soon as you open that book, you're gonna summon a demon. Yeah, but it looks cool. Give it to me.
It looks cool. Let me have it.
Shut up and take my money.
The worst part is, I knew the legs and the feet, and I was like, "That's Paul Castellano. He's laying dead in the street of New York. That's got to be a good book." I got a totally off-topic question, but they said there was an earthquake in Massachusetts this morning.
Sure as hell didn't wake my ass up. I'll tell you that.
11 kilometers south of Bliss Corner.
Never heard of it.
It's south of New Bedford and west of Falmouth.
Falmouth, yeah, those are all. That's right, man.
Barnstable.
Barnstable.
Barnstable. It's not near Worcester.
Worcester.
That's Worcester, right?
Yeah, Worcester.
Worcester.
Where do you get
Worcester.
Worcester? Where do you get Worcester from Worcester?
I think there's actually a. Is there? I feel like there's a Worcester in Mass too.
Is there really? So there's a Worcester and a Worcester?
I want to say if there's people from Massachusetts ever watching this, and there's not, I'm just an idiot. I'm sorry.
Tim's gonna get whacked.
So this is pronounced Barnstable.
Hold on. Let me find the article.
It looks like It looks like Barnstable.
It is Barnstable, but we say Barnstable.
Barnstable. That's awesome.
Let me see. Let me click the CBS.
Hammer down.
It's south of New Bedford.
I mean, there's nothing south of New Bedford. South of New Bedford is water.
Well, that's where they're saying the epicenter of the earthquake.
I was gonna say it's ocean.
Well, it's Bliss Corner. I mean, who knows?
Looks like a kaiju's waking up.
There was no tsunami danger from this
It was
earthquake. I would have
3
been.
point. It was a
I would have woke
3.6.
up swimming.
3 miles off the coast of Bliss Corner, Dartmouth, according to the mass MEMA. According to MEMA. MEMA said that.
Oh yeah.
That's the mass emergency management.
You legit just said like a ton of words, and I have no idea what they were.
The earthquake had a magnitude of 3.6, centered a few miles off the coast of Bliss Corner, Dartmouth, according to the Massachusetts Energy Management Agency, which I'm assuming they call MEMA, because that would be the right. Y'all call it MEMA? You don't call it MEMA?
No.
Well, so you didn't. So where are you at from New Bedford and Barnstable?
I'm in New Bedford. That's my city.
You're in New Bedford? Okay. Well, hell, that was like right there, dude.
You're gonna die.
That's what I'm saying. I would have woke up swimming, man.
That's hilarious.
I mean, the only saving grace I always think that I have from a tsunami is that there's a whole peninsula that sticks out of the peninsula, like that that blocks
So
New Bedford.
how long
But
does
if a
it take to get
tsunami is big enough, it's gonna swallow that little peninsula up.
how
Ain't
long
gonna
does it take
stop
to get
shit.
how long does it take to get to Boston from there?
About like 45 minutes, an hour.
That's not bad.
Traffic. 30 minutes if I drive like I'm in Massachusetts.
That's true. See, there we go. Boom. Now we can go see the Red Sox. Now I got an in. Yeah, I'm coming to visit you. Not really. I just want to go see the Red Sox.
I don't know. I want to go to Salem.
Red Sox.
I know Salem is always legit this time of year. All this stuff happens there.
I've never actually been to Salem.
Do people there do the tourist stuff? Like, do you walk the Freedom Trail and all that stuff? No, you don't do that. You don't go to.
I don't do shit.
You don't visit the old
You
church.
just
you don't
works,
sit-
sleeps, eats,
Smokes.
yeah,
Pretty much it.
play games. Yeah, hurts his wrist all the time.
That's just from jacking it too much.
Oh, I actually.
It's no doubt November. Don't you know that? Come on.
I know. I can already levitate.
Wow. Okay. So there we go. Interesting.
Do we want to do a little bit of sports talk, guys?
We can because we can talk about the Red Sox and how they rehired Alex Cora as their
right.
manager next year.
Craziness. I
Let's
can't
go with
believe
that.
That
Just brought it
freaking
up.
awesome. Or I loved it. I think it's a great move. Let's
All right.
fire him and suck for a year, and then we'll get him back.
I mean, it shows you that cheaters win. But okay, so
yeah,
someone,
that's the one we're going to talk about.
Someone explain this to me. Why is it okay to steal signals, but it's not okay to steal signals? Because let's be honest.
It's okay to steal signals.
It's how you
it's
steal
not
signals.
okay to get caught stealing signals or how
Yeah.
you steal the signals.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Now,
it's kind of
my
like doing
theory is-
steroids. It's okay if you do steroids, just don't get caught.
My theory is there's a
True.
guy in the outfield of every ballpark with some kind of camera stealing signals and sending stuff into the bullpen or into the dugout of every ballpark in the major leagues. That's my theory.
It's
I have
just
nothing to prove that, but I really believe that it goes on.
it's just the guy in the dugout having a drum solo every.
Yeah.
Exactly with the trash can.
Yeah.
So
I'm
but
glad the Astros didn't win the World Series.
it's been going on since way before Ty Cobb would sharpen his spikes and slide into second base on purpose to hurt people. You know,
Every sports team tries to get upper hand. Every sports team probably cheats a little bit. It's just some hot and some don't.
AJ Foy has a great saying about cheating, and he says that cheating ain't cheating unless you get caught.
If you go to your team cheats, I think, or myteamcheats.com, either your team cheats or myteamcheats.com, it lists you every single team that's ever been caught cheating.
Your team
And
cheats.
All of them.
So is it all the
like,
New England Patriots?
No.
It's like all of every single team. Like every team's been caught doing something illegal, whether it was like drafting, cheating while drafting, or like money related things. By the way, my friend said that he thinks the earthquake is a hoax because we have three different pictures from me and two other people that all have different magnitudes, and we all live within a mile. 4.2,
I mean, that's a Fox. That's a Fox.
3.3.
Yeah, I read 3.6. I read it on a Fox.
My friend has 4.2, and he lives like maybe 4 blocks from me.
Well, great. Now we can't even get right magnitude readings from the press. I don't know what to believe anymore. Jeez,
Yeah.
they can't even get earthquake magnitudes right.
It's a Richter scale. There's nothing to interpret. Write down the number.
Good.
Don't add any extra zeros.
You know who's doing it? You know it's probably Bubbles from Trailer Park Boy.
Oh,
That's something I don't know. So yeah, yeah, everybody cheats. Oh my God, are you kidding me? I just read this. Can I break this news? TMZ reporting that Alex Trebek has died.
Wow.
What?
Breaking news on TMZ.
No way.
I swear to God.
Right
just
here,
saw him on
14
TV
minutes
yesterday.
ago on
Jeopardy is saddened to share that Alex Trebek passed away peacefully at home early this morning, surrounded by his family and friends.
5 minutes ago, Jeopardy put it out on Twitter.
TV icon has been battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer since March 2019. He was 80 years old. Wow.
I thought he beat it.
I knew that. Well, he had beat it, and then I know he had like a relapse kind of thing, but I hadn't heard anything else about it. Wow. Again, we're ahead of the game, right? As always.
Always.
I don't want to laugh about that because it's sad, but okay. So I'm on this.
I can't suck it, Trebek. This is all really awful. This is terrible.
Sean Connery and Trebek die within like
a
week
week
of each other.
It is within a week of each other.
At least at least he was alive to see who won the presidency. I guess maybe not. I don't know.
It's just not really.
Probably would.
Yeah, it's really not.
I really would think that he was probably in and out in the last.
Yeah.
That's sad. I mean, wow.
You can't get anybody to replace him though. Like he's not
Yeah,
replaceable. To me, he's not. He's done it for so long. He has that cadence and like.
Well, I don't know, Jim Carrey. Yeah. Yes, Jim Carrey replaced Bob Barker. Drew Carey replaced Bob Barker.
Yeah.
And the price seems to be doing good.
They'll probably go. I have a feeling that the guy that will place him will be the guy that is like the all-time winner.
I think they should just get Will Ferrell to dress up as Alex.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Then get what's his face to dress up as Sean Connery and come on one time.
Oh jeez.
The number 4. The answer is always the number 4. Wow. Well, there we go. Sad news out of America.
I just saw that Jurassic World Dominion shooting wrapped up.
Yes, yeah. I saw that too.
Is Dominion the TV, the anime, the show, or is Dominion the new movie?
I thought it was the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the movie. This says
can't keep track of all this.
Production 18 months ago. So
we need to talk to Baron.
He don't talk to us.
I know.
Come to our podcast as a special guest. We'll make it one of the weeks I'm sleeping. Won't be missing a person. I'll be up.
But last night, Notre Dame beat number 1 Clemson in a double overtime classic. That was a great game.
Classic. That was a great game.
First play of like the game, a 75-yard touchdown run for Notre Dame, and I was like, "Oh, I think we got this, boys."
Boy, they about gave it away though.
I know that fumble. I thought the one where when Book fumbled it, running it into the for the touchdown. I thought we were going to lose right there.
You know, if they could beat Clemson, then I mean they've got a little. They should have a legitimate shot
But they got to
at the
play him
national
again.
championship. Right, but they'll have their quarterback too, won't they?
Yeah, that'll be the real.
That guy's good though.
Uh,
I wouldn't slouch on that.
Ulule.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't sleep on that guy either.
Nah, he's gonna be great.
Clemson is not just a quarterback though. I mean
No.
that's all around.
I mean, we could have beat them probably even with Trevor Lawrence.
I think so.
But it would have been still a really good game. But I've been saying this for a couple of years now that Ryan Kelly's on the hot seat for me. Like he seems to never
He's
be able
on the
to
hot
win.
seat for everybody.
Yeah, he can never win like the big games. So, like, I'm just tired of it.
Have the rankings come back out yet? Have they? Not yet.
No, they haven't updated the rankings yet.
Because I'm anxious to see how the beloved Hoosiers are ranked this week.
What were they? They were 11th?
They were 13th.
Okay, so they're probably in the top 10.
They should be at least 10. They beat Michigan. Weren't they Michigan 8?
Yeah.
They'll get knocked out of the top 10. They should move Indiana to the top 10. Easy. They got a defense. That defense is tough. I was surprised. I hadn't watched
the quarterback. I think is going to be really good.
Dude, they're really good. They've got a lot of weapons. They really.
Well, they better have a good team because of IU basketball's going to suck.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. It's not basketball, so we can't talk about basketball season until.
It's basketball. It's technically basketball season.
It's always basketball
technically.
season.
Did you? Speaking of basketball season, we can jump into other sports because we have talked about how awesome IU is.
Before we move away from IU, Michigan, do you guys think Harbaugh is going to get fired?
Harbaugh should be fired. Yes, he should be gone because he can't even win a big game.
He can't win any game anymore. It seems like he lost to Michigan State and IU. He should have beat them both.
Did Michigan State lose yesterday? Or did they?
Yeah, Michigan State's won one game that was against Michigan.
Yeah, the team they've beaten is my goddamn team, I think.
So who was okay? Fun story because the last time last time IU beat Michigan, who was the coach? It was the guy before, not the guy before Harbaugh.
Probably Bill Mallory.
Hold on.
I would say Bill Mallory.
Hold on. It was
Bill Mallory.
Yeah. So they actually flew back. My dad flew them back to Ann Arbor, on ATA Airlines, and he was telling me he flew Michigan back.
Michigan back. Okay.
And the coach broke one of the tables and threw it across the plane.
Really?
And my dad just turned around and walked back to the cockpit after that happened.
I mean, I would probably do the same thing.
Because I'm looking at it right now, they were. Oh. Okay. Well, they were ranked 23rd. IU was ranked 13 that year. It looks like.
IU was good back then.
I mean, IU's always had a good team. They just can never go past the better teams in the Big Ten.
I know the commentators or whatnot. They're saying that they were probably number 2 in the Big Ten, behind Ohio State. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they can beat Ohio State personally. Ohio State's just always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick of Ohio State. Aren't we all?
Oh wait. Okay, I got it. Don't worry, guys.
What?
OH. And then you're supposed to say IO.
Oh.
Oh. See, we're not Ohio State fans, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not either, but I've heard the chant before, so.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
Okay, so speaking of, the NBA announced their NBA season would start December 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And old Queenie there is not too happy about it.
Oh, LeBron?
Yeah, because there's only 71 days off.
He might not. So you know how I saw that. And you know how Christmas Day is big for
basketball? That's why they're starting.
He's saying he's not gonna play.
Yeah, he says that's what AD's for.
I mean,
I
so
mean, he's
I
he doesn't have to play every single game anymore.
no, he doesn't.
When you're
but
the face of the NBA, yes, you do.
I learned this from the Michael Jordan documentary. I can't think of what it was called. Last Dance. Michael Jordan played hard every game he played because he's like, there's a kid up there, or there's someone up there who's never seen me play. So
That's
I
right.
gotta look good for them. Now I
I
understand stars wanting to rest and have a day or two off, but if I hate I when I went to when I've gone to Pacer games and I want to see I went to a game that Kobe was there and I wanted to see Kobe play.
Oh, for
Kobe,
sure.
Kobe was hurt and he couldn't play, and I understood
Yeah.
that, but
that's
I was a little
understandable.
sad.
But when people are just, I'm not going to play, that's aggravating.
If I was, Kawhi is one of my favorite players, and if I was to go see them play the Clippers, or the Pacers play the Clippers, and I didn't get to see Kawhi play because he's taking the next day,
I
would
bought. I
It's a
remember
little different this season though because like you said, there's
What
only
makes-
70 days off
yeah, I
as
get
opposed to
that.
having
so.
130 to get your body ready
You
for the next
you
season.
make like 40 mil a year.
Yeah, but it's
That's your,
not
that's
about
your
making
job.
money. You still
That's your
gotta
job.
protect your
You're what?
body. There's no point in going out there
So
and
tell
playing
that-
and then
so
That's
carrying
tell
that's
your
why
that-
Andrew Luck
ACL.
retired.
Tell that to
and
the tell that to
being-
the guy. Tell that to the guy out on the highway building roads. That well, I think I'm going to take the 3 weeks off from this because you can't do that. You got to
You
work.
could take it.
That is your
but you-
job. He is
You
off
can most
71
definitely take
days.
3 weeks off. It's called vacation time.
He is off
If you don't think-
71. He
If
is
you don't
off
think your body
71
can
days.
take it, though,
That's 2 months. He's
It's-
got a 2-month vacation. That is plenty of time. He is an athlete. That is his job. If he can't handle it, he needs to retire.
that's
You don't just pick and
ridiculous.
choose, like Jordan said. I remember
I got
paying.
this.
I remember paying or buying tickets to the
Okay,
see the
boomer.
But they don't give a shit about
because
tickets.
exactly that's
They care
exactly
about
he doesn't.
their body.
That's
they
right.
need-
You said it. He doesn't give a shit about me. That's right. He only cares about himself. He doesn't care about the league.
Yeah, he wants
doesn't
to
care
make
about the fan
sure
base.
that he
You know-
can play for longer.
Yeah.
Still wants to play for another 4 years. He can't do
He
that if
wants
he
to play with his
tears an
son.
ACL. If he tears an ACL and he ends up
Then he
hurt
shouldn't be.
the rest of his career, there's no point in that.
That's like saying
So-
I'm afraid to race in this race because I don't want to hit the wall. That's dumb. You don't. I mean, he
But
could-
you're not. But you're not risking You're not racing is 30 times a month, 18, 19 times a month, 20 times a
that
month.
is his job. He chose that job. You can't
No,
just
and
cherry.
I
You
understand.
don't cherry. When
He
you
chose the job,
you
but
lose so
he
much
can.
as an athlete, and as a fan of sports, you lose so much respect from the fan
Nobody's.
base by cherry picking and saying, "Well, I'm not going to play because I think
No.
we shouldn't play that." Who cares what you think? It is your job to play. That is the union has said. Well, this is what we agree to. So that is your job. So go and play.
He could take a. I'm the in Ed view. I totally agree. He shouldn't skip the season, but he can miss like a little bit of time, like a couple
Yeah.
weeks of the season.
No, he doesn't.
Would
No.
it be different? Hold on.
Call it injury.
know-
If he got hurt in the off season and had to miss a couple and miss like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it would. That would be the difference. Yeah, if he got hurt. But if
So
he is,
who knows if he's hurt? He's still hurting from the previous season. They just finished.
well, you know what? Then maybe he shouldn't throw himself on the
smashing-
floor so much, and he
They
wouldn't
just
hurt
finished
that bad.
smashing 50 games into like a month and a half or something.
So did baseball.
Baseball's
don't-
not as physical sport as basketball. Don't even come at me with that argument. That's ridiculous. Those are
Okay,
two
so-
way different sports.
Would it be different? Hold on. If the NFL players, they get game checks each week or something like that, don't they?
They get paid. Yeah, they get
Yeah.
paid on the roster.
Yeah,
Yes.
game
Okay,
check.
so would it be different? I don't know how NBA players get paid. So what if they decide not to? Would it be different if he maybe didn't get paid for that game or something? I don't know
Well,
I don't know how they're paid.
let's
works.
remember.
I mean-
Let's remember. He wasn't gonna play in the bubble either. Remember that. I'm not playing. I'm not gonna play in the bubble.
You're just
Okay,
a
well, then-
LeBron hater. That's
you
really
don't-
what it comes down
Then
to.
then you don't get paid if you don't play in the bubble. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna play now. We know where his heart is. It's not. This is why he will never be Jordan. This is why he will never be Kobe, because all he thinks about is himself.
He's such a LeBron hater. It's so funny. That's the only reason.
I have skipped Bayless. He skipped Bayless.
I am not.
If I asked every single basketball fan I know and said, "Do you think there's a problem with LeBron not starting this season and taking a couple weeks off?" Every single person would say no.
I do.
Every person.
Now he took more than like a week or two off.
Like him or hate him, that's why people watch the NBA. It's the reason people watch Jordan play. I was never, ever a Jordan fan. I couldn't stand Jordan while he played because he beat the Pacers all the time. But he played because that was his job. He played hard. He played hard all game.
He plays hard all the time. Plays like 50 minutes a game sometimes.
He doesn't. But he's a cherry picker. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. Yes, that is your job. That's what you
just
get paid.
This one instance is the first time, aside from the bubble.
That's why you. So why is he any better? Wait a second.
Epidemic.
Hold on. Why is he better than, say, Jimmy Butler? What makes him that he can't?
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, Jimmy Butler played in the same amount of games that LeBron did. So
LeBron has like 5 times every single stat Jimmy Butler has.
I'm not saying no. I'm talking about they played the same season. They played in the same season. Is Jimmy Butler going to take off the first few months of the season because
Jimmy Butler's not 43? Oh, however old LeBron is.
James is at 43.
39.
You're thinking of Tom Brady.
38. I'm sorry. Yeah, 38.
I have no respect for people like that. I don't care what league it is. I really don't. And the NHL is the same way. Those guys play their heart and soul. Those guys play hurt. They play. There was a guy for the Bruins played in the NHL Finals. He had a lacerated kidney and broken ribs, and he went out and played.
If the finals happened, and you played in the finals, and then the season was going to start 20 days from the end of the finals,
he has legitimate injuries.
There are plenty of players.
Nobody else is taking.
We're gonna take a little bit of a break.
Nobody else is taking off.
If Ovechkin,
nobody else is
taking. They would all take a little bit of time.
Have you heard Have you heard anybody else in the league say, "I'm going to take this time off"? No.
Nobody else is LeBron.
Oh, because it's LeBron, so he gets to take that.
Because he plays the most.
He played the same amount of games as I said that Jimmy Butler and everybody else on the Miami Heat played.
He plays the most amount of minutes. First of all,
that's his job. His job is to play basketball.
You are such a LeBron hater. That's the only reason why.
Here's what we're learning.
It could be if Oladipo did the same thing. Guess what? He's a jerk. He needs to be out there playing. That's why people go see the Pacers. To go see Oladipo play.
Here's what we've learned today over the last couple weeks, months. Chris and Tim argue a lot on sports. And that's what we're gonna idiotic view of players. That's what we're gonna call this section anymore. Is Chris and Tim argue sports, and Mikey and Chris sit back and relax.
I just have no respect for any.
You don't have to have respect.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Don't. Yeah. LeBron doesn't give 2 fucks about your respect.
You're a guy. Right. You live in Indiana. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
But
he's not going out there to please you.
Because when the comparison comes up, who's better, MJ or LeBron? I'm gonna pick MJ.
Michael Jordan. That's fine.
I'm gonna pick.
I also agree that Michael Jordan is better than him.
Or if it's Kobe or LeBron.
You know what? In the next 10 years, when LeBron's retired, we're gonna be having the argument: who's better, blank or LeBron or like.
They're all better.
I can tell you right now, when those discussions happen, no one's going to be like, in the 2021 season, LeBron took off the first couple weeks of the season.
They will, because yeah, they will. Hold on a second. Hold on. And this ballot, you know why? Because we had the argument over whether Randy Moss was a great player or not. And it's been proven.
That's a different argument.
Hold up. Let's not go back to Randy Moss.
Hold on.
It's the same thing.
You're telling me
if you're perfectly capable to be playing and you slouch off or you want to sit because you're quote unquote tired,
That
retire.
just
Don't play the
proves
game.
how good
Put
he
somebody
is,
else in
because
there.
he
Put
could have
somebody-
doubled his stats.
That's right. He should have, but he
should
didn't.
have.
He should
So-
have. And
so
he would have. He could have been. To me, if he would have played 100%. Hey, you know what? Tom Brady told Peyton Manning in that golf game they had that if you're playing, you need to go out there and give 100% every time that you play.
If you honestly
To
think
me, Randy Moss won't do it.
when
To
they
me,
look back,
LeBron won't do it. So I don't respect people like that. There's a
if
lot.
you honestly think in 10 years when they look back at LeBron's career that they're going to mention the fact that he took 2 months off at the beginning of the 21
They sure will.
20,
They sure will.
100% won't.
Obviously. Yeah, they
No
will.
way.
Dude, they still talk about the Michael Jordan food poisoning game. And when
Yeah,
was that?
because
That was
because
20
he
some years
scored
ago.
60 points while
Well,
poisoned.
you think LeBron would do that? No, he would,
No, but they're not. That's a
he has
positive
also-
thing. They're not gonna
I'm just-
mention the fact that he missed a couple.
Yeah, it
He's
will.
gonna miss-
It's going to be missing more than a
He's
couple.
only gonna miss like 10 games, maybe 12 games of the season.
It will
Okay.
come up. Trust me.
Let's end the discussion here.
I can't.
I
It's
would
so
like to add Jimmy Butler. No, Jimmy Butler played only 22 more minutes than LeBron James in those finals. In the 6 games.
22 is a lot in basketball.
22 minutes. But LeBron James threw up 20 more shots, 20 more field goals than Jimmy Butler. But that's
Jimmy had a better overall team, also.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's not a
I just used him
different
as
play
an
styles.
I just used him as an example of he played the same amount of games that LeBron did. And
Um,
he will be starting the season. That's why I used
protect
Jimmy
their
Butler.
bodies, though. Like, what about all of those players
Russell
that
Wilson spends over $1 million
all of those
a
Did you
year
see that?
on his body.
That's
Stay on
insane. He spends over $1 million.
franchise.
But Mikey, you got any
Oh,
any
yeah,
shower thoughts?
I do. I always forget, but I found one yesterday. It's really good. All right. Did Mrs. Incredible have labor pains, birthing 3 kids, or did she feel her water break, stretch her uterus to the size of a camping tent so that the doctor could walk in and pick up the baby off her pelvic floor and call it a fucking day?
Where do you find these? Where do you think of this? I don't.
Oh my God.
I saw that on Meme Droid, and
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna use that
Yeah.
one.
I'm the pothead, and I can't think of any of this.
Mikey,
Well,
we
what do
gotta
you
talk
think?
about your crack addiction.
Seriously, you come see me at work.
I've got nothing. I got nothing. That's a good one. All right, Tim, take us out since you haven't been able to do it the last few weeks.
Yeah, we've been struggling.
Oh.
Forgot.
You know,
See what happens when you take a break,
it is. Yeah. Just call me LeBron.
right? I will.
He's gonna go out there with a football. Wait. What are we doing? What's the score? Oh, for all your nerding needs, come on down to Hoosier Nerds podcast, and you'll never be left wondering who's your nerds.
All right.
Oh man, that was epic.
That scared the